Hi, love bugs. How are y'all doing? I hope y'all are doing well. Yes, I have an accessory wrapped around my wrist. Um, First off, don't forget to like and subscribe. Hold on. Oh, okay. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget that I have a partnership with Womanizer. Okay, they're a self-pleasure toy brand. This is the Duo 2. It's wonderful. It's got their air suction. It's actually called air wave suction technology. And then it's also insertable too. And it's got like a ton of freaking settings. You could use the clitoral stimulator and the insertable part at the same time, or one or the other. And you can use the code A as in Apple, F as in Frank, F as in Frank, dash Queen, Queen, and you can get you some money off. Also, don't forget, I have the spiritual channel, Queen the Mystic. And I also have my Patreon where I talk about dark manipulation tactics. If you are in sex work and you want to improve your revenue with sex work, I also talk about that. I also talk about freestyling tactics. The Patreon is really good if you want to get more of like this villain type of content on a deeper level. And I also take requests on like certain things that you may want me to talk about specifically for you. So I haven't done my makeup in a while. So I'm gonna do my makeup while I do this. Don't judge me because like I just said, haven't done my makeup in a while, but I want to. I already did my skincare and I already moisturized my lips. So being the villain, or at least being okay with being the villain in a man's story, I think that it's important for you to like not care and for you to not be so obsessed about how men are going to perceive you when you do things in your own best interest. Okay, like I've done some things where I know for a fact the man is telling everybody like, oh yeah, she's a bitch and she's mean, she's a gold digger, she's this, she's that. Oh well, I'll be that then. You know what I mean? I'll be that then. Because you want to know what? That's how men's idea is. Like, men don't even care about being called a deadbeat. Like, there are women out here screaming to a man at the top of their lungs about how he's a deadbeat, about how selfish he is. And you'll say all that to a man, and a man will look at the same man will look at you and he'll be like, I'll just be that then. You know, I'll let you just call me whatever it is that you want. Oh, well. Because men understand that the opinion that you have of them, it doesn't change the fact that they want to do whatever it is that they want to do. They don't care. It's not going to change your mind and be like, oh, she's calling me a deadbeat, or she's calling me a cheater, she's calling me this, she's calling me that, so let me change my behavior. Men aren't thinking that. Men are like, I'm free to do whatever it is that I want to do. And so I'm just going to do it. And the other person is just going to have to deal with it. If they don't like it, they just going to have to deal with it. And as women, you have to be okay with having that mindset. And I feel as though for women, being okay with being the villain is also protective of you. Like, imagine you have a date set up with a man and it's the first date that y'all are going to go on. And you feel kind of weird. Like, you just have this feeling of like, you know what? I'm getting the creeps. Like, I don't know. I just kind of feel as though I shouldn't go on a date with this guy. But you're also going to gaslight yourself to think like, I don't want to go on the date, but like, I don't want to be rude. I don't want him to think that I'm a rude person, but I'm just going to go on the date. I don't want to come off as rude. I don't want to come off as inconsiderate. Baby, I'm coming off as rude and inconsiderate every time when it comes to me doing something that I truly don't want to do. And you have to adopt the same type of mindset. Because the thing about it is that men are kind of looking for you to have that people pleaser mentality, and your fear of them painting you and like saying things about you in a certain way. They're relying on you caring so much about that you're going to cave in and you're going to do things that you actually don't want to do because you're so afraid of their perception of you or how they're going to paint a story about you. Child, I don't care what story, I don't care what picture somebody paints about me. As long as it's got my name on it, and as long as the quality of the paint and the brushes was it was expensive, and the quality of the picture is up to par. I don't care what the picture is of me doing. Just make sure the shit looks good. I don't care what story it is that you have to paint, because at the end of the day, at some point, once you start people pleasing, at some point, you're going to reach a breaking point where you can't be a people pleaser anymore. You're going to reach the point where you're exhausted of like constantly having somebody in the back of your head remind you like, oh, if I don't do this, he's going to tell everybody this. And if I don't do that, he's going to tell everybody that. Like, I've literally had men sextort me. And if they didn't sextort me, they threatened to sextort me. And I was like, okay, do what you got to do. Do what you got to do. If that's going to make you feel better, about the situation, do what it is that you got to do. Like, okay, like there's pictures of me, people saw me naked. Okay, cool. Wonderful. Like, all right, wonderful. Do whatever it is that you have to do, because at the end of the day, you could do everything right, and then once you decide that you don't want to do it anymore, which you will at some point have, you will reach the point where you don't want to do it anymore. Guess what? You're going to be back in the same predicament anyway. You're going to be right back in the same predicament of them trying to say, well, I'm going to do this, and I'm not going to let you see the kids, and I'm going to tell everybody about what you did, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do that. So now I have this larger amount of investment based off of what I've already done because I just didn't want to say no the first time. No. The sooner you're the villain in somebody's story by choosing to not do things that you truly don't want to do, the easier it is for you to get comfortable, like not self-sacrificing, not doing things that you're not okay with doing. And the thing about it is that if you don't want to start doing this with men, the first people that you can start doing this with, your family. The first group of people that you can start practicing this on is your family. Y'all know damn well that y'all don't want to go to some of these family events, and y'all don't want to see certain people at these family events. Y'all know that it was somebody in your family that you didn't really care about them passing for real. You really didn't care. Are you kidding me? there's funerals that I just chose to not attend because I'm like, I don't want to go. I don't want to go. I didn't like that person. I don't want somebody at my funeral. I don't want somebody at my funeral that didn't really like me for real. I don't care who they are. Like, I don't care who they are. Um, at the end of the day, if I don't want to do something and if it's not gonna serve me, and then people want to use that against me to say like, oh well, if you don't do this and if you don't do that, then I'm gonna do XYZ. All right, cool. Do it. But I'm not going to do something just because you're threatening the fact that there would be a repercussion for me not doing that thing. So I'll just be the villain. I'll just be I'll just be the person who just doesn't want to do what you say. And the thing about it is that when men move really quick, like that's the thing too. Um when men move very, very quick, a lot of the time, these men are trying to like groom you already to be the villain in the story because in their brain, they're like, well, I've already invested XYZ into you and I've done it so quickly. You have to do this. You have to do XYZ. I spent all this money on you and I did all this stuff quickly, or I got into a relationship with you quickly. You have to do this. And, you're going to have hell to pay if you don't do whatever it is that I want you to do because I've invested this time, this money, this energy, etc., etc. And it's like how men would say to women, nobody told you to do that. Nobody told you to do that. I didn't tell you to like buy these things for me or do these things for me. No, I didn't tell you to do that. I'll just be the villain in your story. And you could tell everybody how I'm a gold digger, how I used you for your money, how I played you, yada, yada, yada. You could just tell everybody that. That's fine. Someone said, are you going to address the delusion within your community? Some women here think they can be decentered and married. What do you think about that? I mean, the thing about it is this, it's a very, 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 very small percentage of women who can be married and like be decentered. And a lot of that comes from the small possibility that the man actually wants to be dominated over. The man actually does want the woman to dominate over the relationship, call all the shots, tell him what to do, and he will take care of everything. But that's small. That's such a small percentage. It's a very, very small percentage, which is the reason why, like, I don't really speak on it because it's such a rarity. It's such a rarity. But most women don't have that ideology to even think that far. Most women are already leading with like how they can please the man, how they can garner attention from man. Most women they're male forward, they're male forward first. Most women. Majority, if you hear the noise, it's my fan. I have the AC going, but it got warm in here kind of quick. I'd argue that it's a high percentage. Oh, you mean of like men that like want to be dominated? For me, it's not the majority. So for me, if it's not the majority, to me, it's a low percentage. And I don't think majority of men go into marriage to actually be dominated and told what to do. Because I have met women and it's like, ciao, It's almost as if the husband or boyfriend or even baby daddy doesn't exist. Like there's one girl that I know, she has a baby daddy, and like he takes care he takes care of everything. He's the one that watches, and like he's like the primary like caretaker of their daughter. Um like he financially takes care of everything, and like she be outside. Like she does whatever it is that she wants to do. So do they exist? Yeah, they exist. Um is it going to most likely be the outcome for most women? No. Like I would never tell a woman like, oh yeah, like don't care about getting married or being a baby mama, because like there's a chance that the man will just take care of everything and let you do whatever you want to do. Like I would never give that advice, because that's not the majority. She said it's delusion, high percentage. Yeah, I feel as though it would be disingenuous of me for me to tell women to, like, it would be disingenuous for me to tell women that that's like something that's highly attainable, because it's really not, for you to have somebody like that. Um, but trust me, I mean, being a stripper, trust me, there are men who they like that dynamic. And it is dominance. There's nothing wrong with a woman being dominant in a relationship. Like, it's literally nothing wrong with a woman being dominant in a relationship. I feel as though that's how it should be. I feel as though that's how it should be. And the thing about it is that you're going to be the villain in that story too. You're going to be the villain. You're going to be the villain by his friends that don't get it. You just do whatever she tells you to do, and you're whipped, and you don't want to hang out with the boys. You want to hang out with your girl. Guess what? You're going to be the villain in that story too, by other people. You're going to be, depending on the family that you're raised in. I know women who, their mothers, their wives, and like they still go out, they still party, they still do whatever it is that they want to do. And then their moms will be like, you're not being a mother because you go out, and you're not supposed to go out as a mother. You're supposed to stay at home with the kids. You're going to be a villain in that story too. Which is why a lot of women are obsessed with people pleasing. A lot of women are obsessed with people pleasing because you're too afraid to be the villain in somebody's story. You're too afraid that people are going to call you out on you doing something that doesn't fit what they believe that you should be doing. Who cares? Who cares? Who cares? I feel as though when it's all said and done, is your life going to be changing or ever changing because you're caring so much about what other people think, or you're trying to fit this narrative of how people need to perceive you? Because I don't. None of that stuff pays my bills enough for me to care. Honestly, I feel like none of that stuff should matter. These people's opinions aren't paying your bills. Like, no. Mm-mm. Shouldn't be that important. It's setting powder. Okay, I can cut that off. Um, another thing too, is that being the villain in somebody's story, like I feel as though you have to be willing to just not give somebody what they want. like not give somebody what they want and just not care about if the person doesn't want to deal with you anymore. Like that's another thing too. It's like rejection. It's staying in situations that don't serve you because you're afraid of being rejected. Okay, the person doesn't want to stick around. The person doesn't want to stick around or whatever because I didn't give them what they want. Okay, bye. Most women have been traumatized from people pleasing. Usually you're groomed to be a people pleaser because at some point in your life you had to suffer a consequence when you weren't people pleasing. Like especially as girls, like you'll have a creepy uncle in your family, you have a creepy weirdo in your family, and you don't want to hug him. You don't want to get anywhere near this guy. But it'll be like your mom or your auntie or something like that that'll be like, go hug Uncle Cedric. Don't just leave Uncle Cedric hanging. He misses you. And you're like, he's a weirdo. Like at a young age, you're able to understand and get the feeling of like, that guy's a weirdo. That guy's a creep. I don't want to hug him. I don't want anything to do with this man. And then you're told that, like, that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to you're supposed to break your level of comfortability to appease somebody else. And then you go your whole life thinking that that's what you're supposed to do. This is how like a lot of women get into dangerous situations with men because you're pretty much taught like, oh, just abandon like the weird feeling that you get. Just abandon the feeling that you get by dealing with somebody that doesn't make you feel comfortable because you have to care more about their feelings than you care more about your feelings. No, your feelings are top priority. And guess what? If you have to be the villain because you care more about your feelings than other people care about your feelings, then so be it. Aww. Yeah. Kids are intuitive and kids know what they're comfortable with and what they're not comfortable with. Kids understand I don't want to give a hug. I don't want to do XYZ. It just doesn't make me feel comfortable. It's a boundary. And the thing about it is that we live in a world where we have pleasantries and showing pleasantries is a sign or showing a sign of respect. Um but the thing about it is that in order to fulfill those pleasantries, if you don't fulfill them, it'll be seen as a sign of disrespect to other people. But as an adult, you got to unlearn that. As an adult, you got to unlearn that. I don't want to, if I see somebody and like I get a vibe from them, I'm not going to say hi to them. I'm just not going to. Um, I don't really, I don't care. I don't want to say hi to that person because it's like I'm not going to be fake. Um if I have to do it, if it's under like a work setting or something like that, yeah, sure. I just do it because I have to do it, but if I have the choice, whatever. You can call me stuck up. Cuz people love to say, "Oh, you're so stuck up. You don't know how to talk to anybody. You don't want to talk to anybody." I don't though. I really don't want to talk to anybody. So I will be the villain. I will be the villain. Or someone wants to try to coerce me into doing something that I don't want to do. You're boring. You're no fun. You're negative. All right, well, I guess I'll just be all those things then. I guess I will just be all of those things then, because I don't want to do any of that stuff. Like, mm-mm. I don't want to pretend like I'm doing something, and I don't want to do it. I'll just be the villain, and you could tell everybody how nobody gets along with me, and like yada yada yada. Like, for instance, there's somebody that I know, and like the person seemed cool at first, but then like the individual had like been around me enough, and I think what happened was that like I don't think I matched the person's perception of what they thought that I was going to be once they got to know me a little bit more. And so I don't say hi to the person anymore, and also like I caught the person making a face. I caught the person making a face when I actually did say hi to them. And once I caught the face that they made when I said hi to them, I told myself, I said that this is the first and last time I'm ever saying hi to this person again. Cuz it was their initial reaction when I said hi. And I was like, "Huh, something's changed. Something's changed with this person. Something's changing this with this person." So you want to know what? I'm not going to even say hi to this person anymore. Fuck it. They made that. They made that stink face. She was looking down, and she kind of made this face like, why is she even saying hi to me? But nothing happened. Nothing happened. Like nothing happened at all. No situation had happened. And I'm like, I don't know where that came from, but it came from somewhere. And guess what? I don't want to figure it out. That's another thing too. That's another thing too. Um, I'm also you as women, you also got to be okay with like not trying to figure out the reasoning why. Like, why are they saying this about me? Where did all this come from? They said it already. They said it already. Why do I need to know where it came from? They like already said it already, and they already started having weird behavior. Why do I need to know where it came from when they're already like making me feel uncomfortable? I don't even need to know. I'll just be the villain in their brain. I'll just be the villain in their story for whatever like weird thing that they have in their brain. Like, I don't have time. And it definitely is for survival reasons, because humans are communal by nature. And so through evolution, we really did have to care a lot about what people thought about us, because we needed to be a part of a group in order to survive. But guess what? You don't have to live like that anymore. You don't. You don't have to live like that anymore, because you don't have to have a community based on your survival. And guess what? You can get community through hobbies that you do. You don't even have to have like a community fostered just solely in friendship. Like, you could become a part of a sport, you could become a part of a hobby and have community that way. So, like, the quote unquote likeness that people will have for you, it's not as big of a deal as people try to make it out to be. Cause even at work, someone said they eat alone at lunch, chow. And people used to get so mad at me when I would tell them that I didn't want to eat with them during lunch. And so then I felt obligated. But then I felt obligated to kind of sit with them and like I would be so drained after lunch. I would be so drained after lunch because it's like they want me to sit with them because they're able to get more from my energy than I'm able to get from their energy. And so look at what I'm doing. I'm zapping my energy just to make these people feel better. And it's like, you know what? No. And so I started eating alone because what are you going to do? Tell the boss she's mean, she's rude because she doesn't want to eat with us at lunch. I'm clocked the fuck out at lunch. I'm clocked. I'm clocked the fuck out at lunch. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter either way. I'm clocked out. And so I just stopped. I'm like, you know what? I don't have to involve myself in these pleasantries. I don't have to involve myself in these pleasantries just to make other people happy. And these will be the same people who will gossip about you and be like, yeah, she's a bitch. She's stuck up. She thinks she's so much better than everybody. And it's like, well, I'll be that. I'll be that. And here's the thing when they say stuff like that, I can't believe I'm talking and doing my eyeliner. Can't believe that I'm able to multitask this well. Also, I need to get some more of this liner because it's going bad. I have to go to Ulta anyway. So I'm going to get some of that today. But usually that whole that you think you're better than everybody, it's them admitting the fact that they put you on a pedestal. It is. It's the fact that they're admitting that they put you on a pedestal. It's like, no, you think that I'm better than you. Because if someone wants to eat alone at lunch, I'm not even thinking I'm not even thinking about how that impacts me. They just want to eat alone on their lunch. Simple. They want to eat alone on their lunch. That's it. That's all. They're entitled to do so. They are entitled to do so. And the things I want to do on my lunch break, the average person, they don't want to partake in that stuff anyway. They don't. I haven't been to Ulta in a while, but I do need to go. Because this felt eyeliner that I'm using now, I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. It bleeds. I don't have time for that. I bought this a while ago, and it's because I bought it erroneously. I bought the wrong thing. And it's not even water. They claim that it's waterproof. But in my opinion, an eyeliner can't be waterproof when it fucking is bleeding. And this eyeliner bleeds. LA Colors, I haven't used LA Colors in forever. This is NYX. So this NYX eyeliner is like, it's pretty cheap. It is. It's pretty cheap. This NYX eyeliner, it's my favorite. It's just, it's reached its point of usage. The thing that I like more about Ulta, they have a larger. First of all, I love that they carry MAC because I still wear MAC. I do, especially their lipsticks. I'm always gonna wear MAC lipstick. So that's really my favorite thing with Ulta. But I shop at both. Like the last time I shopped at makeup, I went to Sephora. I did. I went to Sephora. Most of everything I use is Fenty, so it doesn't matter if I go to Sephora or Ulta because they both carry Fenty. So it doesn't make that big of a difference for me. I like the aesthetic of Ulta more than Sephora. Like I like how like Ulta's just more fun looking. It's more fun looking and I like the range of brands that they have more. I do. I just like the larger range of different brands that they have. Like I love ColourPop. Most of like my eyeshadow palettes are all ColourPop. I can't get ColourPop at Sephora. And I don't have a MAC store near me. I don't have a MAC store near me. Before, when I lived back in the Midwest, I would just go to the counter. But usually by the time I go shopping for makeup, usually it's because I've ran out of like umpteen things already. Like to be honest, am I really going to go to Ulta and get a new liner? Probably not. I'm probably just going to use this liner all up. This other liner that I have, I'm just going to use it all up. Because I have more than enough makeup. Could you imagine wearing makeup and then dealing with a man that tells you that he doesn't want you to wear makeup anymore? I would be manless. Imagine being the villain in a man's story because you didn't want to give up wearing makeup. Yeah, I quit talking to her because she was so obsessed with makeup and she wanted to wear makeup all the time and I just didn't like that. Like, could you imagine? There's probably a man out there. There's a man out there painting the picture that a woman is horrible because she's wearing makeup. Could you imagine? I would be like, what the freak? I would be like, what the hell is wrong with you? What in the hell is wrong with you? Like, hell no. Just just like the brand, makeup forever. Makeup forever. I'm swapping out a man. I'm swapping out a man for makeup every time because like what are we talking about? What are we talking about? I really need to do this brush. Like I really need to just these brushes, the more like rougher bristle ones, I love them to death, but the shedding, the shedding. Ain't that crazy? Ain't that crazy how a man will tell you that he doesn't want you to wear makeup and then wants you to teach his daughters how to apply makeup? That's how you know they're controlling. That's how you know that they're controlling. Because the thing about it is that the advice that men have for women that they would date, it would never be the advice that they would give their daughter, their mother, their sister. They're never telling they're never telling the women that are in their circle to do the very same things that they're telling women that they're in partnership with. Never. How did you become so smart and confident at your young age? Did you have a mentor? Um, I mean, my mom, honestly, my mom, and honestly, I just paid attention to the lives of other people and I took it at face value. I didn't I didn't have my ego involved in how I was perceiving the life of other people. I just took other people's life experiences at face value. So, in my own experiences at face value, growing up, like honestly, especially growing up, like my first experiences with boys, when I think about how young I was, that I cared about male validation was crazy to me. It was crazy to me. Like I literally remember being in second grade and I remember comparing myself to like other girls that I was in school with. And like guys would like, this is second grade, guys would like touch like girls' butts. Like they would like just catch a feel on girls' butts really quick. And I remember like liking this guy. I remember liking this guy and like I would feel some type of way because like he didn't touch my butt. Like he didn't give me a signal that like he had liked me or whatever. And it's like, what the freak? Like, how am I in second grade? And like, I already have this like idealized version of like male validation at such a young age. Like, that is crazy that in second freaking grade, like that was even a thought of mine. You know what I mean? And so eventually, like as I got older, I started really, really getting focused on like sports and hobbies and stuff like that to the point where like I just stopped caring. I stopped caring about male validation because I was looking around and I was seeing girls like be in relationships and stuff. And like I would have friends that would be in relationships and like they were crazy. I know wanting to be essayed in second grade is crazy. Like what? Like why would I want a boy to touch my butt in second grade? Like what the fuck? Like why would I want that? Insane. So over time when I would like listen to like friends and they would tell me about like, oh yeah, like they would cry over over their boyfriends and stuff like that. That was when I realized like, oh, um, this is actually not what it's like cracked up to be. Once I started seeing like the reality of like girls that I knew what they were going through when they were getting this quote unquote male validation. And so that's essentially what woke me up to be like, I'm like, I'm not gonna, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna sit here and, I'm not gonna sit here and, care about stuff like that. You can invest in stocks and you could do makeup. And guess what? You could be so smart that you could do makeup and you can invest in stocks that deal with fucking makeup because the beauty industry is $1 billion industry. So you could do both. That's the beauty of being a woman. You could do everything. You could be beautiful. You literally could sit here and do your makeup while you're day trading. That's the beauty of being a woman. You could do all of it. You can literally do all of it. It looks so purple in camera, but I promise you it's like not that purple. It's really not that purple in real life. It's this Fenty Icy Amethyst. It's the gloss stick. Exactly. Investing in stocks is definitely a way to make money. It's not a hobby. But you could do both. If you like makeup and you want to do a side income, do both. Why limit yourself? I think women have it in their brain that, like, you can't do everything. Yes, the fuck you can. There are women out here who have babies, they train for marathons, they own a company, they have investment properties. Like, there are women out here who are doing it fucking all. Women are very multifaceted. That's why men are very jealous of us, because we can do a lot. We could do a lot and still make shit happen. I've had strong sexual energy for as long as I can remember. It's that Scorpio energy. I had to learn quick like Shira. Girl, that's probably the reason. That was probably a part of the reason why I was trying to have boys touch my butt when I was in second fucking grade. Because I've always had strong sexual energy, which is another reason why I became a stripper. Because I like to exude a lot of sex appeal. And there are some women out there, they're just born like that. That's a gift. Like, that's their gift. They have a lot of sexual energy, and you have to know how to alchemize. You have to know how to alchemize that energy for your benefit. And that's what I did. I was like, I have all this sexual energy. I'm going to use it for my benefit. I'm going to use it for my benefit. This look actually came out super pretty. It did. It actually came out super freaking pretty. All right, let me fix my wig. Because I actually sewed her down. I sewed her down a couple days ago, actually. I haven't put any heat in this wig at all. I haven't put any heat in it. I haven't put no product in it, nothing. I'm just letting it do its thing because I don't want to have to buy another wig. I don't want to have to buy another wig, so I haven't like really done anything to it, so it's obviously not going to look crazy styled because I'm kind of just letting it like do its thing. I would like to kind of bump the top a little bit though, just so I can have a little bit more like volume. But other than that, I'll take it. Yeah, so I have heatless curlers. The issue, per usual, okay, they're back at the Midwest. They're back in the Midwest because I don't know why I didn't bring them with me. I have no idea why I didn't bring them with me. And only one heatless curler made it with me. Only one. I have the silk ones, and I'm so pissed because I'm like, I have them and I didn't pack them with me. So I might just give in and order some. Honestly, I might just give in and just say forget it and order me some. Because I definitely want to heatless curl on the front, just so that the like bang part, because also I had layered the wig and I accidentally layered the front part a little bit shorter than this side. So I probably do need to go back and just say fuck it and just, do this one. Yeah, they have silk ones. They do. They have silk ones. There's a brand called Kitsch, Kitch. They actually sell them. They sell the brand Kitsch at Ulta. So what I do to keep the bottom curled, I just take a silk scrunchie and I just put my hair in a bun. So the bottom will still stay curled without it being heatless because I'm wrapping my hair around this silk scrunchie. So that I will do just to give like the bottom some curls, but I like the top of my hair to have a little bit more volume. So actually what I might do is I might end up actually taking the one heatless curler that I have and just taking my crown, rolling that around the heatless curler, and then just still putting the rest like in a bun and calling it a day. Sorry, I haven't put on makeup in so long. I'm admiring my beauty. Could you imagine a man getting mad at that? She's got her phone out. She's constantly looking at herself in her phone, and it's like, if men had beauty like women have beauty, and if men beautified themselves like women beautified themselves, they would be looking at the mirror, they would be taking selfies, they would be doing all that stuff all the time. Like, oh well, that's another thing too. They want you to be ashamed of being vain and embracing vanity. Call me vain then. Call me vain. Say that I'm obsessed with vanity. Say that I'm obsessed with my looks. All right, I'll be that. I'll be that. Old school, use a paper bag, tear it in strips, roll it up. Oh, wow. I didn't even think about that. But yeah, they'll be like, you're so vain. These women are so vain. All they care about are their looks and da-da-da-da. And it's like, these men don't care about their looks enough. These men don't care about their looks enough. Like, they will confidently talk about women not caring about their looks. Whole time they've neglected their looks for the past 10 years. They've neglected their health for the past 10 years. And they'll be over here talking about what women should and should not do, or how we should and should not be looking. No, like, no, I will be the villain. I will be the villain. Mm-hmm. Yes. And another thing too is like, being the villain in someone else's story, I feel like is also a reflection of like you being self-obsessed, and then also like you being self-possessed. Because like, this is how I feel. I feel as though in order, before you can become self-obsessed, you have to be self-possessed. Because normally when we talk about possession, we always talk about being in possession of something outside of us. Like, you possess, like they will repossess your car. They will take the car out of your possession. So usually we're always referencing possession for something outside of us, like something possessed her, something outside of herself has like taken over herself. In order for you to be self-obsessed, you have to be self-possessed. You can't be self-obsessed if you don't have possession over yourself. If you don't know like who you are, and you don't know like what you stand for, and you don't know like your core root being, what do you have to possess then, to obsess over? Don't you have to possess a car to be obsessed with the car? I mean, it's not worth anything to be obsessed. You could be obsessed with the car, but you don't own it, right? Being obsessed with the car would be constantly going to the lot to go view the car, but you don't own the car. You don't possess the car. And I'm not trying to like dehumanize us and like compare us to cars, but I'm just using it as an analogy. You need to be self-possessed before you're self-obsessed. And when you do that, you're always going to be the villain in somebody's story because you care more about having ownership of your own ideas, your own opinions, all the things that you're interested in, all the things that you like doing. You're going to keep possession over those things as opposed to giving those things up so someone can like you or so someone can approve of you. No. Mm-mm. Nope. And for a lot of people, people don't like things that they can't control, especially men. Like, no. Of course, men want women to be submissive. It's easier to control somebody that says yes to everything. And I'm not explaining myself either. That's another thing, too. That's another thing. Ladies, stop explaining yourself to these people. Stop explaining yourself to these people. If you can't do something, quit giving them this long paragraph. Sorry, I can't show up because XYZ and XYZ. It's just sorry, I can't show up. Sorry, I can't make it. Like, it is what it is. You can't show up and it's really none of their goddamn business as to why you can't show up. Like legally when you call out of work, legally when you call off, it technically isn't even a requirement for you to like tell your boss why you can't come into work. To my understanding. You don't technically have to tell them why you can't come into work. All you have to do is just notify them that you're not coming into work, but you don't have to tell them why. She said, my main guy cares so much. He's bulimic. He wants me to compliment his looks. I make him so insecure by existing. He said, I'm annoyingly beautiful. Oh, well, he sounds like a good target to me. Sounds like a good target to me because you already know what his insecurity is. You already know he's insecure about his looks. So I guess when you know how to harness that and when you know how to manipulate that information, makes it pretty easy. It does. It makes it pretty easy. You might have not gotten a notification simply because I didn't I don't even think I created the live stream until like just a few hours ago. Honestly. I don't think I even had it up for that long. So that might have been why. I try my best to do it the night before. Um, but sometimes I just don't always remember. So somewhere along the lines, I just end up forgetting. I do. I just end up forgetting. Um, but yeah, be the villain. One time, this guy was like mad. So this was crazy. So I actually was dealing with somebody at the time, not seriously, but I was dealing with somebody at the time. And I talked to somebody from high school. And we were talking or whatever. Okay, cool. And then he was interested in me, but he was interested in me way more than I was interested in him. And I kind of told him, like, you know what? I'm cool. I'm cool. It's fine. Somehow, this guy actually ended up finding out where I freaking lived at the time. So, in the same night, get this, in the same night, I ended up finding out, but in the same night, they were like, they weren't trying to like break in. It didn't look like they were trying to break in. Maybe they might have been trying to, but They were like doing some nefarious activity like outside of my house, like him and his friend. And ironically, because I was still living at home and my grandma had actually caught them. She was actually outside. She went outside to like water plants and she caught them out there. And that literally within like 5 minutes, I kid you not, literally within 5 minutes, nudes of me got leaked on Twitter. Someone got into my Twitter. It probably was them. They got into my Twitter and like they started posting like pictures of me or whatever. So thank God I had got on real quick and I like deleted everything. Yep, I had deleted everything. And the guy that I was talking to at the time, not the same guy that like pulled up or whatever, that had like that was upset that he got rejected. I was talking to another guy, and that guy was a police officer because we ended up calling the cops that night and we ended up filing a report. And then that's how the police officer was able to find out who it was. And it turned out that it was that guy that like I had ended up rejecting. Like when I tell y'all that I have been through the ringer with these men and them getting upset that like I'm the villain in their story. Yeah, I really have been through the ringer. Like them like making threats, like them like just being weird. Like I've definitely been through the ringer with these men. So yeah. Uh-huh. So this is the reason why like once and the thing about it is that I was young, and the thing about being young, this is the reason why men want you to be young when you're dealing with them. You have a higher tolerance for things because you have a thirst for experience, right? You're young, you're on the fool's journey, you're trying to gain experience, you're trying to make all of these memories, and so your tolerance is higher because you're trying to have more fun times, you're trying to make more memories. And so essentially your tolerance is a lot higher for bullshit when you're younger. So at the time it didn't really phase me. At the time it didn't really phase me. Obviously I was shaken up, at the time I was shaken up by that happening to me, but because I was so young I was just kind of like, whatever. The situation was rectified. Oh well, you know what I mean. And so as you get older, you're like, okay, I've experienced this already, I've done this already, it really wasn't what it was cracked up to be. I'm cool. You know, I'd rather not even have the possibility of something like that happening again. And thank you all for the compliments. I really appreciate y'all. This is my first time with this highlighter. And using this Fenty like lip stuff or whatever. Cause the highlighter is actually pink. Because I remember when I was shopping, I was like, I would love to do like a cute, like a really pinky look. So it's actually this Kilowatt in the color What a Brat. It's a pink highlighter. It's pink and it's got like this like silver pearlescence in it. And when the light reflects, you can kind of see the pink. Maybe not up close, but you can kind of see the pink. And then I thought it would be so cute with this like look at that, it's so glittery and so sparkly. This is the Fenty like lip gloss, and it's just a nice little sheen, like just very pearlescent. So when I saw both of those, these two would make quite the combo with one another, right? So that's why I was like, you want to know what? Yeah, it's What a Brat. Mm-hmm. And I've been wanting to get What a Brat since forever, but I think at the time I was like a pink highlighter. I was so confused. I was like a pink highlighter. What's going on here? Um And then finally, I was like, you want to know what? I'm gonna go on ahead. I'm gonna get this pink highlighter. And then once, probably in like 2 weeks or so, I'm probably gonna start using like cool toned makeup, because when it starts getting cooler, especially when daylight saving starts, I'll start doing cool tone makeup. I love like a nice smoky eye and like a dark like purple lip. Ooh, girl, I forgot all about the Cupid's bow. Let me add some of this highlighter to my Cupid's bow. But yeah, I had a high tolerance for bullshit when I was younger. I had a super high tolerance for bullshit when I was younger. This is the reason I don't date nobody now, because I don't have tolerance. Mm-mm. I don't have the tolerance. I just don't. Y'all are so sweet. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And like 90% of my makeup is Fenty. My foundation is one size. The setting powder is Fenty. Um, Lips Fenty, highlight Fenty, concealer Fenty. I use a little bit of Morphe too, because I got a Morphe concealer. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's why men want women that are young, because women, when you're young, you have a higher tolerance for bullshit. You do. You have a higher tolerance for bullshit. So it's like you just don't care as much. You have more curiosity. I think that's probably the word that I'm looking for. When you're younger, you have a higher amount of tolerance because you're more curious. As you get older and you have the experience, and then you keep repeatedly having the same experiences with men, you then realize there's nothing to be curious about. I don't even know what that is. See, I don't use her skincare. I don't use her skincare at all. But I'm looking at the reviews, and the reviews looks good. And I think for a lot of women, that's what keeps women until like older age. They keep going through this cycle because they're too fucking curious. I think that's what it is. Honestly, now that I'm thinking of it, when women are getting into older age and they're still pick they're fucking 35 plus still being pick they're so curious. They're so curious about this knight in shining armor still. They're still so curious about, when am I going to find him? What is he going to look like? Where am I going to meet him? How are our children going to look? They have this state where they're living with having so much curiosity about something that they're not going to find. And it's like, I don't need to be curious anymore. I don't need to be curious anymore. I know that shit doesn't exist. How many times do I have to keep getting on the carousel for me to realize that it's only going to go in a circle? It's only going to go in a circle. It's not going to freaking have like these crazy hydraulics. It's not going to do all these things that I was expecting for it to do. The carousel is going to continue to go into a circle, no matter what people have told me. And so that's how I kind of look at it. Like, no, no. This is the reason why I'm going to be the villain in a man's story every single time. I'm going to be a villain in the man's story every single time, because guess what? Men aren't going to sit here and change their behavior when you're accepting their behavior by staying around with them. It's the analogy that I use with the whole work scenario. If I come to work late all the time and my boss doesn't say anything to me, I don't get written up, why would I wake up early and start coming to work on time? You mean to tell me that I'm gonna wake up one day and be like, "You wanna know what? Today's the day. I'm gonna lose more sleep. I'm gonna get ready earlier. I'm gonna choose to inconvenience myself just on my own free will. I'm gonna choose to inconvenience myself on my own free will." No. If my boss hasn't done anything, if my boss is not complaining about anything, if nothing is really happening, why would I all of a sudden change? Why would I all of a sudden change? I'm not going to. What would be the point of that? That's how men look at it. Like, women will talk and say, if you do this again, I'm gonna fire you, or I'm gonna get rid of you, yada yada yada. Men don't even believe you. They understand it's an empty threat because they know that if you were serious, you wouldn't be there anymore. It's like somebody that wants to harm you. A lot of the time, it's like, okay, if they want to harm me, they would have did it already. They would have did it already. You know, if someone's really trying to come after you, child, they're gonna do it. They're gonna go on ahead and do it. So at the end of the day, they understand, child, if she really was trying to get rid of, if she was really trying to get rid of me, she would have done it already. She would have been into the relationship. It's nothing but an empty threat to them. And it's nothing but you further enabling their behavior for them to continue to do whatever it is that they want to do. Why would they wake up one day and be like, you want to know what? I'm going to just stop cheating? Like, no, you've already stayed with him through cheating 3, 4 times already. Why would he change? Men think you're low IQ, like they really wonder who's falling for that shit. That's how ridiculous they think it is. Yeah, it's insane. That's the reason why they go for these younger women, because they understand that the younger women, they have more naivete. They understand that they're more hopeful. They understand they have a lot more optimism. And younger women care a whole lot about what people think of them. So they're afraid to like enforce boundaries. They're afraid to actually discuss their discomfort. You know what I mean? For things. Yeah, you nagging in their minds, if it's so bad, why are you still there? Yeah, because men, a lot of men are going to go back and forth over a situation that they are not fulfilled in. A lot of the time, they're not going to do that. If they hate the situation that bad and it's not serving them, they're just going to leave the situation. Men aren't going to sit here and argue back and forth about all the complaints that they have about the situation that they're in, and they're choosing to still be in that situation. Hell no, they're just going to leave. They're going to say, fuck this. I'm done. I'm not going to deal with this anymore. And leave. Women actually think by like nagging and like the whole communication thing is actually going to change your mind. Men don't care about communication. Men do not care about any of that stuff. Men are not over here in their brain thinking like, oh, well, if we talk it out, it's going to make me feel or think different. No, it's a waste. I hate that advice that women receive, saying that like women need to communicate. Men know what they're doing. Men know what they're doing. I don't need to tell a grown man what he should and shouldn't be doing, because guess what? Men know what they're doing, because they would know very well what's going on if you did it to them. You mean you mean that you would have to communicate to a man to not do things that would harm you or disrespect you, but he would have the full understanding with no explanation needed of that being wrong if it were done to him? Come on. Like, no. They don't need communication. They need to be left alone. That's what they need. And that's the point that I'm always at. I don't waste time communicating with men. I don't waste time with telling men what their errors are, what they've done wrong. I just leave, because they know what they're doing, because the very same things that they're doing to you, they wouldn't want it done to them. So that's how I know. That's how I know. All you have to do is just say that you have a friend, and then paint the scenario that your friend is going through the very same thing that this man is doing to you. And if he's over here like, wow, that's so wrong. I would hate it. I would hate it if somebody did that to me. then they have a clear understanding of what they're doing. If they wouldn't want to be in your fake friend's shoes who's getting disrespected, then that means that they are fully aware of what they're doing. They are well aware of what they're doing. This is the thing about monogamy. Men are so dirty. Men are so dirty. Women really have no choice but to remain monogamous because men are dirty. It used to not be like that. It used to not be like that. By nature, a long time ago, back in Neolithic times, women were hoes. Okay, women were out here. They were sleeping with multiple people because men weren't sticking their things in animals. Men didn't have all of this freedom to be free roamers and do whatever the hell that they wanted, and so it made it easier for women to have more sexual freedom without having to worry about so many repercussions. And they were way pickier. They weren't like sleeping with any and everyone. Like, it was a sacred thing because it was more of a sacred thing because men weren't free to sleep with anything and everything and anyone. And women were super, super selective about who they were choosing to sleep with. So a long time ago, like, monogamy really wasn't even a thing. It didn't make a difference. But now, once they created patriarchy and once they gave men to have free roam to do whatever it is that they want, that's what made the men dirty. That's why men say everything that men, all the standards that men set for women is a full admission of what it is that they do. So when they talk about this whole body count thing, yeah, of course they want your body count to be low because they understand what men are doing in the bedroom. They understand that men are dirty. They understand that men are nasty. And so they understand that better for you to just deal with one nasty man than for you to be dealing with 20 nasty men, because men know what other men are doing sexually. They know. They're well aware of what they're doing sexually. That's why they have a standard in the first place, because their value goes up when they deal with you, supposedly, and your value goes down when you deal with them. Yeah, because they're the dirty ones. Women are not out here sleeping with animals. Women are not out here sleeping with dead bodies in the morgue. Women are not out here getting butterball turkeys and sleeping with them. The men are doing that. So with all that information, of course, I'm not going to open up my legs like a full course open meal to these men that are sticking it in anything. It's not sacred anymore. It's not sacred anymore because men have too much sexual freedom. And they try to make it seem as if women are the ones having an issue with sexual freedom. No, it's the men. It's the men that aren't allowed to, it's the men that should not be allowed to have any sexual freedom because they don't have a limit. Yeah. They're over here spreading trichomoniasis and BV, like those are like that's bacteria. Like that's literally things. Those are literally things that they're contracting due to the fact that, like, they're not hygienic. Yeah. Like, women are over here getting E. coli. There was one girl who said that she kept getting urinary tract infections and she didn't understand where she was getting them from. Turns out the boyfriend that she had was using her dildo in his back door and using water to rinse it off, and wasn't using any soap, wasn't using anything to actually clean it with. He just was rinsing it off with soap. So then when she was using it, obviously she has poop residue in there. And then that's how she realized that she was getting UTIs. Like, using something you're not even telling the person. And then the fact that you're not even gonna hide the fact well that you're using it by not cleaning it appropriately. Like they're so stupid. Like you couldn't even commit a crime and get away with it with having that lack of knowledge. Like why would you, if you're using it is already one thing. Using it is already one thing. But come on. If you had to hide the fact that you were using it because you didn't want to get found out, don't you think the best way to not get found out would be to actually clean the toy appropriately? Don't you think the appropriate thing would be to use at least some soap and some water if you didn't want nobody to find that out? Like just half-assing everything. Like, come on. They are so I've seen I don't know, I've gotten on the side of dirty man TikTok. Even the gay men, even the gay men are complaining. There was a guy who said that he was talking to this guy and he wouldn't say the profession that the guy. I'm guessing this guy worked in medical. I'm guessing this guy worked in medical. So he has said that like the guy had like an hour lunch break. So he was gonna come over, on his lunch break and they were gonna do their thing or whatever. So the guy telling the story was the bottom. And I guess this was an oral situation. So the guy telling the story was the bottom, which means that the guy that came over was receiving. So he was sitting on the bed while he was receiving. And he said that when the guy had got off the bed, he said that he left a whole thing of shit behind him. He has white sheets. He said he had white sheets. He left a whole thing of shit behind him. And and he's gay. Like they're having these experiences. They're having experiences with men. The same exact experiences with poor hygiene. And mind you, this guy's at work. Like, come on. If you can't take a few, anything about it is that I'm going to assume that this guy worked in medical field. All you have to do is go in the storeroom and get you a container of some baby wipes. They got baby wipes and cleaning wipes all over the place in the hospital. All you had to do was go in the storeroom and get some baby wipes and wipe back there and keep wiping until you didn't see anything. Especially if you knew that you were going to be doing that. Well, it was oral. It was oral. So it wasn't even like there was any insertion. It's because the guy was sitting on the bed. So could you imagine? Could you imagine if they did get to that point when, like, if that actually were to even happen? Ciao. Mm-hmm. Coworkers who talk at, uh-huh. Yeah, that is a good point. But he was pissed. The guy was pissed. He was like, these men are so dirty. One time, I was done with his ass. He spent money on me and we actually were in a relationship briefly. But once this situation happened, I was like, I can't be in this relationship much longer. It was the first time that he had ever spent the night. And he must have like had like some back knee that he was like picking. And I had white sheets. Why did he get blood from picking on my fucking sheets? I was like, you're never coming over here again. And that relationship ended very quickly. I was like, what the fuck? Like, why are you picking? Why are you picking and you're bleeding on my fucking sheets? Like, is there not a level of discretion that you could have had for this? Like, couldn't you just do this at home? Couldn't you just fucking do that at home? Now I have fucking blood on my sheets. Like, Now I have blood on my sheets from you picking. I was so disgusted. And then the way that he treated and then his dog was stinky. I was like, if your dog is stinky and you're doing this, this is not good. This is not good. I can't. I can't. If I stay with you, I'm gonna have infections if I stay with you. Mm-mm. I don't understand how some women are like, oh, like that's just what they do. They're just dirty. They're just not hygienic. No, because them not being hygienic is going to impact you in some way. It's going to impact you in some way of them not being hygienic. If they're not even being hygienic with themselves, if they're cheating, if they decide to cheat on you, they're not going to be hygienic then. They're not going to be hygienic then. They're going to they're going to get somebody, any old person, and they're not going to protect themselves and they're not going to care. Like, no. Mm-mm. No. I was so pissed off. I cussed his ass out. I was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? I was pissed. Yeah, they don't care. And in their brain, they're like, oh, well, if I infect somebody, if I give somebody something, especially if it's permanent, in their brain, they're like, oh, yes, I will, they're marked for life. They're marked for life and they'll want to deal with me forever. Makes absolutely no sense. This is why when men give their standards, I just start laughing. Like, you mean the standard of men who don't take care of their health? Or I'm like, you mean the gender of men who don't go to the hospital, they don't go to the doctor? Hell, there's men out here that don't even have a primary care provider. And they're going to sit here and tell me what standard I should be meeting as a woman, but you don't even have a primary care provider. Somebody tried to do that, but they lied about having something because they were upset I didn't want to see them again. Child, I'm telling you, that's the reason why I'm celibate now. Especially with how unhinged these males are getting. Mm-mm. No. I don't even want to take a chance with that. And they're getting more and more angry over like women not dealing with them. Yeah, their favorite thing to do right now in this climate is to know that they have something and then give it to someone to try to tether that person to them forever. How men are giving their wives, yep, one lady died but found out her husband gave her, she already had cancer and the treatment stopped working. Just selfish, just terrible. Listen, I hear so many story times. I have yet to hear a dating story time, any talks about, how people's marriages are and things like that. I have yet to hear a story where I'm like, you know what? I hate being celibate. You know what? I hate being single. Every time I hear something, I'm like, thank God I'm celibate. Thank God I'm single. I'm met with relief when people come forward about their experiences with men. I am filled with relief when I hear these things because I'm sorry, I'm not signing up to deal with that stuff. I'm not doing it. I'm not signing up to deal with any of that shit. No, thank you. Mm-mm. I love it. She said, you need a loofah. I can't stand that shit. I can't stand that. Like, the whole bar soap bath, like, No, like the bar of soap is not doing anything. Like you need to be exfoliating your skin. There needs to be dirt going down the drain. Like there needs to be like a sign. There needs to be a sign that you got stuff off of your body, that you actually cleaned your body. Ain't no bar of soap doing any of that. That's not doing anything. You got skin from 6 weeks ago still on you. You can ask them for money, of course. Just be selfish. Being the villain is just essentially being selfish, however that looks like for you. You want to cancel a date last minute, you want to ask for money, you want to be a little bit rude, you want to, you know what I mean? You want to just be selfish. That's usually the easiest way for you to be the villain. Just put yourself first. Nothing turns you into the villain more in men's eyes when you decide that you're going to be selfish. You tell him, nope, I don't want any children. I don't want anybody living with me. I don't want to get married. I use exfoliating gloves. I use exfoliating gloves and I see I see the brown going down the drain and I'm like, "Yep, I'm getting this stuff off of me. I'm getting this stuff off of me." And I make sure that I use a callus shaver for my feet and I use a callus shaver for my hands. Okay? I'm not like a snake. I got to shed like a snake. I got to shed my skin, baby. I gotta shed my skin, and I use an exfoliating scrub. I don't use it every day. It's like a niacinamide and AHA exfoliating scrub. I like to use that like once a week. But I need confirmation that I need some confirmation that you know the some of the skin cells I'm exfoliating that some of that's coming off of me because chow no. This is doing nothing. Your hand is doing nothing. A bar of soap is doing nothing. Oh, my skin is sensitive as hell. I can only really use antibacterial soap with it. That's like the only thing. Yeah, I work out. So I work out, child. Okay. The sink, the water that's going down in the shower, it's gonna be brown because I be at the gym, I be sweating. Yeah, it's gonna be brown. Yeah. And the thing about it too, I get sticky so easily too when it's humid. As soon as I'm outside and I start sweating, I already know what it is. I already know what time it is. I'm like, yep, all of this dirtiness is about to build up because my ass is over here sweating. My skin is sticky from being humid. Then if I have, because this is the reason why, like here in Florida, I don't wear lotion. I don't wear lotion because my skin is already so moisturized naturally. I only wear lotion at night, overnight. But during the day, I don't wear lotion because what happens is that I have my lotion or like coconut oil, regardless, no matter how light it is, it's already kind of like a covering of my skin. That plus the heat, that's like more things to stick on my skin. It's just, I be feeling so nasty. Mm-mm. Yeah, I can only use antibacterial soap. Every time I try to use like moisturizing soap, soaps with glycerin in it, I break out. My skin is super sensitive. She said his white shirts would turn brown. I knew something was up. You're like, why is the part of your shirt of your neck, why is that turning brown? Why is that turning colors? Like, no, you're not bathing all the way, sir. You're not bathing all the way. Yeah, the Florida heat, oh my God, is something else. And the thing about it, it's not the heat that bothers me, it's the humidity. I hate going outside and it's just like sticky. I hate it. Like I lived in Arizona, even though the dry heat was like messing up my respiratory system. Because what I will say, like, it's pros and cons to everything, right? Good thing here, there's moisture in the air here in Florida. So I have no respiratory issues here. No respiratory issues with the heat. Arizona didn't have to deal with the annoyance of the humidity, but that dry heat was so bad for my respiratory system. I got like a really, really bad I got like a really, really bad respiratory infection while I was living in Arizona. I was like, oh, this dry heat. And I would hike a lot too. I would hike a lot. So like the valley fever and like all of that, the plant life and stuff that's out there, my body was not a fan at all. Here, here it's not too bad because yeah, with the exactly. Get you a little humidifier and you're good. Especially with pole classes. Oh my God. Thank God that they have like a humidifier in the pole studios because I would be slipping and sliding off that pole. I would be slipping and sliding off that thing. Mm-mm-mm. That's another way that I'm a villain too. I just do things that completely go against the status quo of what women are quote unquote supposed to be doing. Like I have a whole sleeve of tattoos. You know what I mean? I have a whole sleeve of tattoos. That's another way that men will deem you to be the villain. You're not doing what you're supposed to be doing as a woman. You're not fitting you're not fitting the standard of what you're supposed to do as a woman. You're not supposed to have all those tattoos. You're not supposed to be pole dancing. You're not supposed to, they talk shit about you having piercings. They talk shit about you having tattoos. They talk shit about you if you dress provocatively. They talk shit about you doing anything where you embrace whatever it is that you want to do sexually. Child, I've never cared. I've never given a fuck about any of that stuff. You're not supposed to curse. It's not it's not ladylike for you to be using curse words. I don't give a fuck. I'm going to keep cussing. I don't care. I'm going to do what I want. I'm going to do what I want cuz guess what? There are men out there who they just didn't care. They didn't care anyway. They still would deal with me. They're like, I love your tattoos. I love how you're so in touch with your sexuality. Like, men say that shit as if there aren't men out there who don't care. There are men out there who don't care. Every woman that I know that is a stripper or was a stripper is married. Every single one of them. Every single I will tell you this, the strippers that I know, they're all freaking married. They are the ones out here that are getting married. And you will have men over here telling you, ain't no one gonna wife no stripper, ain't no man gonna wife no 304. Majority of the women that I knew who got the rings first were all the girls that I knew from the club. Every single one of them came from the club. Even now, here in Florida, just about every girl that I know that is a stripper or was a stripper is fucking married. Every single one of them. It's plenty of men out here, they don't care. They do not care. Now, the basis of the marriage, I don't know. But for men to sit here and make it seem as if you got to sit here and be pure and not do anything and that's going to be the guarantee for you to get married, they lying. I'm telling you, they lying because these girls at the club, they're out here getting wifed. They're out here getting a ring. And the men and I mean the husbands are having a good old time. They be inviting their husbands to like our showcases, our pole stuff. Their girls be giving them lap dances in front of everybody and twerking in front of them and having them do all types of couple stuff. Like the men love it. Like the men be there having a good old time. Like I'm not trying to be, and that's another thing too. Who is trying to be with some boring ass man that doesn't want you to embrace that side of you? Because they'll literally sit here and give a laundry list of all of these requirements that a girl is supposed to have that would essentially make her a virgin, right? And then they get mad when these women like don't have any experience in the bedroom. Which one is it? Do you want somebody that is experienced, that is like relishing in her sexual energy, or you want a virgin that doesn't know what she's doing and into you it's going to be boring? Which one is it? Yeah, gay. No, literally, no man that's actually liked me has ever cared about me stripping. Like, and no man that's ever taken me seriously has ever cared about the attention that I'm getting from other men. Every man that I've dealt with, they fully admitted to me. You getting attention from other men lets me know. It lets me know that I'm doing a good job. Like one of my ex-boyfriends, he wouldn't care if other men would want to dance with me. Obviously, he wouldn't just sit there and watch them dance with me, but he would be like, hey, like this is my girl or whatever, because the guy like wouldn't know. It would be like if he like went to the bathroom or like got us a drink or something like that. He'd be like, oh, I see like, you cool or whatever. He wouldn't be like, oh, you're over here dancing with this man and you're over here doing this, yada, yada, yada. Ciao. He respectfully told the guy, hey, that's my girl, and kept it moving and never brought that shit up again. Like, ain't nobody got time to be dealing with no man who's over here like, I want to keep you caged up. I want to keep you ugly. I want to keep you secret because I don't want to have to compete with other men or have further reinforcement that other men are into you. Child, no. No. Anytime I hear a man like my last ex-boyfriend, that was one of the reasons why I dumped him. He was upset. He admitted to me that he was upset that when we were at a restaurant, a guy that I knew that worked at the restaurant came up to me and gave me a hug. He was like, yeah, it really bothered me like when I seen him give you a hug. And I'm like, he's a friend. Like, I'm not going to care if a woman that gives you a hug. You know what I mean? It's a hug. Once you start jumping off the cliff and like coming up with all of these other weird things to get your mind in the direction that it may be something more than what it really is, I don't even want to fucking hear it. I don't even want to fucking hear it. I don't even want to partake in it. Just no. Mm-mm. Because it shouldn't take something that small. Shouldn't take something that small for you to get upset. Like, no, just get some confidence. And the thing about it is that they want you to be all beautiful. You think you're going to get a beautiful woman and you're going to be the only person that thinks that she's beautiful? You think you're going to get a beautiful woman and you think that you're going to be the only person that's going to compliment her? They want you to be beautiful and then be locked in a fucking cage. Look at this bird, everybody. Look at this beautiful bird that I captured, everybody. You could see it, but you can't have it. Look at this beautiful bird. That's how they want you to be. And it's like, hell no. Hell no. I'm flying away every time. You're not even gonna get the opportunity to put me in the cage. I'm flying away. I'm getting the fuck away from you because what? Mm-mm. No, I have like a very, very low tolerance for men that behave that way. And that very same guy, he like, oh my god, he already was trying to make it seem as if I was cheating, and then he's like, if I find out that you're cheating, I'm gonna kill the person that um I'm gonna kill the person that you were involved with. And then, not to mention, he was trying to become a police officer. He was a business owner trying to become a police officer. The signs were there. I was like, yeah, no, I'm breaking up with you. Something's wrong with you. Something is wrong with you. You're acting like this, and you're going into a profession where you're allowed to use force, and you're allowed to put it upon other people, and you could get away with it. Oh hell no. Oh hell no. Yeah. He literally threatened that if I had cheated, he didn't threaten to say that he would kill me. He said, I'll kill the person that you cheated with. And that's supposed to make me feel better? That's not supposed to raise a red flag to me. Because the thing about it is this, I think there are a lot of women out here, they take stuff like that as a compliment. If somebody looks at you, I'm gonna beat them up. If somebody looks at you, I'm gonna do this, and that. That it seems cute. It seems cute because for a lot of women, they write that off as, oh, he's just being so protective and he cares about me so much that he would be willing to do that. No, that means that he has an anger issue. That means that he's mentally unstable. That means that something's wrong with him. That's what that means. I don't take stuff like that as a compliment at all. Men who talk about using acts of violence in response to something where they are not being met with violence in which they would have to defend themselves, I exit real quick from those situations because, yeah, no, in my opinion, it's giving that you most likely are going to be abusive. It's given that in most cases you're going to be dangerous. I don't understand how that's a turn on for women. I don't understand how that's a turn on for women. For them to actually think that it's like a token of a man's appreciation to harm another person when there's no need for such reaction. Like you're gonna body slam somebody because someone complimented me. No, you're mentally unstable. That's not a normal reaction. My main guy has a lot of female friends, and we took one of his ex coworkers out to a steak dinner last week. He gave her a hug at the end. I was pissed. Meanwhile, I was having a whole affair. Girl, damn. Selfish at its core. You're like, you gave this bitch a hug, and I'm sleeping with somebody else. I'm hollering. Meanwhile, I'm the opposite. I'm like, listen, let me play it cool. Let me play it cool because I got to pretend like I'm cool with this. So that way I don't raise a flag that I'm doing something. He was vanilla as hell. He was so vanilla. I'm like, and he was grasping at straws to impress me. He really was psycho. He was like trying to change his personality because that's another thing too. Another way to be the villain in someone's story is to not give them social cues on their behavior. Don't he The thing that was like kind of frustrating him, I would not give any social cues to make him feel comfortable in the way that he was presenting to me. So it was like every week he was like trying to do something different. He was like trying to like have a different persona cuz he wasn't the same race as me. So like I would notice that like obviously you can have different tastes in music. Obviously you can embrace different cultures. It was given like Ariana Grande. You know how like Ariana Grande, like she had that era when she was using like AAVB, like African American, um, like vernacular dialect or whatever, when she was like, get my juice, she was like talking with a black accent kind of. He would like do that with like slang terms and then like start listening to like rap. And then the next few days he would be like super into his culture. So like we would listen to a lot of like Mexican music and like stuff like that, and he would be like talking in Spanish and like doing all this stuff, and I would never give him any I would never signal that I liked one more than the other. And I let him keep talking, and he even said it one time by accident. He was so sloppy. He was so sloppy in his manipulation. Because one time he kept talking and talking and talking, and it slipped out, and he said, "Yeah, I don't really know what version of myself to be with you." And I just stayed quiet. He was like, "I don't know what version of myself to be with you." And I didn't say anything. I didn't say anything. And by nature, when people want to fill the air. People don't like silence. So you don't say anything. You're just gonna keep talking and talking and talking. I didn't say anything after that. I just took that piece of information and I was like, you don't know what version of yourself to be with me. AKA, I'm not giving you the response that you thought that I was going to give you. This is why I made that video earlier about going off script. Another way to go off script is to not give them any feedback. Don't give them no feedback on what they're doing right and what they're doing wrong. Give them no feedback. I have to look into that. Hold on, let me see if I'm familiar with that. Cause child, I watch so many cases. I watch so many true crime cases and stuff like that. Oh wow, they even said that she had postpartum. That she even had postpartum psychosis. I actually had this thought not too long ago. This is what gets me. When women don't do what men want them to do, they start talking about how mentally something's wrong with us. Oh, she's crazy. She has bipolar disorder. She has this, she has that. When they can't control you, they start putting all these mental health illnesses on you. But when men actually do something, like when they actually do something dangerous, they commit a crime, they unalive people, they do mass unalivings, what's the first thing that they claim? What's the first thing that they want to claim? Oh, mental instability. I have a mental problem. Something is mentally wrong with me. So when you don't get your way, the other person is crazy. But you can actually harm people and do whatever the fuck you want, and you should be allowed to do it because you're crazy. It makes no sense to me. Like, which one is it? Which one is it? Because they don't have this standard for women. Like, women literally have postpartum depression. And they even say that they said that for most women, whenever they commit crimes, they usually commit crimes around the time like before their period, because like their testosterone is a little bit higher. So obviously there's obviously hormones that play a part in that. Where is the grace for women during those times? Where's the grace for women postpartum when they're having all of these hormonal issues? For women, it's like, you should know better. You know what I mean? You should know better. You're a mother. You shouldn't do that. And it's like, I'm sorry, there are mental things, and I do like understand that, but it's like, pick a side. Like, which one is it? Because there's definitely a double standard when it comes to mental things without having any basis of like where it's coming from. Yeah, it's like, you're a mother, like you're so evil, you're so this, you're so that. That's why, like, I don't know. That's why sometimes, I'm not even gonna lie, sometimes I be seeing where these women come from. Sometimes I be seeing where these women come from. Honestly. Because I couldn't imagine having life's pressures and then having a baby and then having postpartum depression and then dealing with like getting cheated on or getting abandoned or like financial abuse and stuff like that. Child, that's a big part of the reason why I don't want to have children, because if I had children and it was under the premise of like me doing it with a man, if I had just decided on my own accord to like go the IVF route and like not involve a man in the process, it definitely would be different. It wouldn't be an option for me to like ever think to do this. But if I actually did things the old fashioned way and like got married and then had children and stuff like that, postpartum depression, depression, it's really, it wreaks havoc on the women in my family. It does. On my mom's side, the postpartum depression is like really, really bad on my mom's side. So I already know mentally what I would be in for just by having a child alone. If I were to add any additional life stressors onto that, oh yeah. Oh yeah. I would I definitely I understand how I am, and I understand how I get. If I had even just a freaking rice granule of something added on top of like having to deal with life in that moment, chow, and I carry a firearm too. Mm-mm. That's the reason why, I just said, you want to know what is best for everyone, that I don't have children. It's best for everyone that I don't have children, because that's how Casey Anthony's get created. That's how Casey Anthony's get created. When people are out here telling women what they should and should not be doing, when the woman herself knows that that's not what she wants. Casey Anthony, child, Casey Anthony knew that she didn't want to have a child. She didn't want a child. She wanted to abort, and she wanted to get rid of the child. And she only kept the child because her parents guilted her into having the child. And that's like how all that stuff happened. She didn't want to be a mother in the first place because she already knew. She was like, mentally, I can't deal with this. Mentally, I can't deal with having a child. I don't want to put up with this. I don't want to deal with this. And then if you add postpartum depression on top of that, and your hormones impacting your brain and what the story it is that you're telling yourself, and you add that on top of it, I'm definitely not justifying it, but I understand I would be at the point of breaking. I would be at the point of breaking. So I get it. I do. I get it. Men are at the root of all things that are evil. Dig deep enough and you will always find a man at the cause of that. And the thing about it, you ain't even got to dig deep. All you got to do, look at the world that we live in. Look at the world that we live in. Look at the people in the positions of power. Look at the people that own all the wealth. Look at all the people that own, the media, the billion-dollar corporations. Look at all that. It's all men. It's all men that are like writing the story and painting the picture and stuff like that. It's just this big old stage that we're on. But yeah, the mental instability with certain things, it's like, no, like I do kind of get it. I do kind of get it. And that's always like when they say like patriarchy hurts everyone. It's bad for both men and women, because these men be lashing out. These men are always lashing out because it's like patriarchal bullshit that they have to worry about. Like, if a man wants to be gay, he would have to have ridicule and shame for being gay. So then what does he do? He's like, you want to know what? I'm going to be DL. I'm going to sleep with men on the side while I have a whole marriage. And then if someone finds out and threatens to expose him for being DL, these men they unalive the person. They unalive the person because it's because of patriarchy. If you could just live in a world where you could be free, you could be happy, you could be gay, cool. If we lived in a world where it wasn't this pressure to become a mother and to get married, you wouldn't have to worry about the Casey Anthonys. You wouldn't have to worry about these men going flipping out and going crazy, unaliving their whole family because they're afraid of like these repercussions with the justice system and stuff like that. But it's this pressure to get married. Like, a lot of this stuff is just based off of societal things. It's all based in the system. It's all based in these systems milestones that you have to reach. And then when people reach these milestones and they realize like this shit ain't what it's all cracked up to be, this shit really ain't as fun as I thought it was going to be, people lose their fucking minds. People lose their fucking minds. That's why I'm like, no, I'm sorry. Okay. Listen, I am a Gemini moon and a Gemini rising. Okay. A lot of people, they say that like a lot of like serial unalivers, they be having Gemini in them. I have a switch. Okay. I make sure that I have healthy outlets to get the energy out of myself because, child, no. Mm-mm. No. I would be the Lorena Bobbitt to somebody. I would be the Lorena Bobbitt to somebody. That's the reason why my ex was like, you threatened me with a firearm. I'm calling the police. And I'm like, the firearm is in the car. But he knew the crazy was inside of me. I didn't threaten him with the crazy, but he knew the crazy was inside of me. He was like, I need to be proactive. He's like, no, I could tell she's crazy. Let me be proactive and get the police because she may be capable. Because yeah, Geminis have a switch. You never really know. Once a Gemini flips a switch, it's over. That's the reason why Kanye West, he'll be fine, you know, and then all of a sudden he's like tweeting for 2 days straight and like saying all of this like wild outlandish stuff. Yeah, he's a Gemini. He has a switch. He has to like he got to turn that other side back on, then he got to turn it off. Child, he was black. That was the thing. That was the thing that was even crazier. The guy was black. That was so crazy. He turned into a Karen immediately. He turned into a Karen immediately. Totally threw me off that he called the police on me. Like, a black man actually wanting the police. And it probably sounds like, bitch, what were you doing to get a black man to call the police on you? I swear to God. If I was wilding out, I definitely would have admitted to the fact that I was wilding out and like doing something like crazy. Like, obviously, if I had a firearm and I was like, if I was like waving it in his face, or if I actually had it on me, of course, that would make sense to call the police. The firearm was in my car. The firearm was in my car and he called the police on me. I was like, okay, you're insane. You're insane. Like, why are we doing this? But he was a Cancer. Cancers are so emotional, and like, he would do the most. It was the one on the phone. If that puts anything into perspective. If you watch a live stream when I had called my ex, child, it was him. He was the one that called the police. It should make some sense now. He over here talking. He was over here on the phone. He was over here on the phone talking about stuff from 3 years ago. Over here talking about your daddy would be proud of me now. And I know that your dad wasn't a fan of me. And I just wish that your dad would have given me the opportunity to show him, and yada, yada, yada. Like, sir, this was back in 2001. You over here holding on to stuff from 2001 in regards to another man that ain't even thinking about you. Yeah, that's why black men and white women get along so well. I was like, bruh. I was like, not you turn it into Karen over something so stupid. Mind you, he's the one, if anyone should have been calling the police, it was me. He took my phone. He literally took my phone, was wrestling my phone for me because he wanted to delete the contact of somebody that he was proving that it was highly suspicious that he was cheating on me with this person. And the thing about it is that I didn't even bring it up. He was the one that see me communicating with this person at a party and had the nerve to sit here. What were y'all talking about? What were y'all talking about? What were y'all talking about? In my face, begging to know what we were talking about. And I'm like, why do you want to know what we were talking about? Because mind you, we weren't talking about anything. We weren't talking about anything that was actually detrimental to him. We weren't talking about anything really detrimental to him. Because guess what? I already had it in my mind that he was cheating. I already had it in my mind. I already had it made up in my mind that he was cheating. And so guess what? I was just like, I have other things going on. There are benefits that I'm getting in this relationship. Because the thing about it was that a bitch needed a place to stay. I didn't want to live at home anymore. I needed a place to stay while I was waiting to wrap everything up with the place that I was moving in. I needed a place to stay. So I knew that he was cheating, but I'm like, he doesn't want to sleep with me because he was coming up with this excuse. He had like a stomach ache for like 2 weeks. He's like, yeah, I just don't want to, I just don't feel good. I don't want to sleep with you. My stomach is hurting. He didn't want to sleep with me for like 2 weeks. So, and he was constantly hanging at this other girl's house because he had a motorcycle, and she was letting him park his motorcycle in his garage, and she probably was letting him park his other motorcycle in her garage. So I already figured he was cheating. I was mentally clocked out anyway. So the fact that he was making such a big deal, about something that I didn't care about, I was just like, okay, obviously you're cheating, and like you actually think I care. You actually think I give a fuck if you're cheating or not. I just need a place to stay. I got one more month of before I can move into my place. I don't care. He was the one wrestling my phone for me, trying to get the tea. What were y'all talking about? What were y'all talking about? Why won't you tell me what y'all are talking about? Then he calls the other girl, starts cussing her out on the phone. Why won't you tell me what y'all were talking about? He was getting so angry. He cussing me out. He cussing her out. We're over here communicating. Like Why is he bugging? What's going on? I'm like, girl, I don't know what's going on. She calls me and she's telling me, she's like, girl, get up out of there. Get your stuff and get up out of there. This could have actually been to help me or for her to deal with him. I don't know, but she was like, girl, you need to get up out of there. Just get your stuff and leave or whatever. He got the nerve. He takes my phone because we didn't have each other's numbers. We were friends on Snapchat. This is in 2021. He deleted her. He deleted her off of Snapchat. He did not want me contacting her. Guess what, dummy? Guess what, dummy? I have her best friend on my Snapchat. All I got to do is reach out to her best friend and get her number and keep it fucking moving, dummy. So yeah, he wrestled my phone for me, started cussing at me, and that's when I reminded him, I'm like, you're cussing at me, you're taking my property, wrestling with me, taking my property as if I don't have a firearm. Once I reminded him that I had a firearm, get the fuck out of my house. Get out now. Get out now. Get out now. Get out now. Yeah, you're not so big. You're not so big and bold. You're not so big and bold under your own roof when I'm under the same roof as you and I have a fucking firearm. Like, no. And so guess what? After that, me and that girl, we went out on a trip. We went out on a trip. And then during that trip, I was like, I actually think that she's a lesbian. I mean, she could have been bi, but I knew based off of that trip that she definitely was into women. I definitely could tell that she was into women after that trip because her best friend, they were missing for hours because we were actually there for like her birthday. They were missing for hours. We couldn't contact nobody. We couldn't get a hold of nobody. And even my friend that went with me at the time, she was the one that brought it up to my attention because I had been thinking it. And she was like, girl, she was like, I have a theory. And I was like, what's your theory? And she was like, I think that girl likes women. I was like, me too. I think so too. I think that her and her best friend are bumping kitties. I really do think that they were bumping kitties. Once again, she might have been sleeping with my ex-boyfriend too. Very most likely was, but I know she was bumping cat when we were in Vegas. She was bumping cat with that girl that she considers her best friend. So yeah, we ended up going to Vegas. It was cool. And then because the relationship was so toxic, I didn't want to be home. I told my therapist about some things, and then my therapist was like, well, you need to get out. And so I ended up going back to my ex-boyfriend for a little bit, and I got back with him under the guise of me just like living there, because the thing about it was that he was so pissed off. He was so pissed off at the fact that me and her went to Vegas that he quit talking to her. He completely quit talking to her once I went with her to Vegas. So I ended up leaving back from home, and I had a month left before I had to move into my place. So him and I ended up getting back together under the guise that I would just kick it with him for a month, and then I would go on ahead and move into my place. I had him stay at my place, wait for my stuff to get delivered. I had him put together all the stuff in my place. I had him do a repayment. Because he was trying to get back into my good graces because he don't have access. He didn't have access to the homegirl anymore. This is why I say I'm never going after the other woman. I'm never going after the woman who I perceive to be the other woman. Me and the other woman finna be BFFs. Me and the other woman, we finna be BFFs because that's what men want you to do. Men want you to go after the other woman. That way they can go to that woman and say, yeah, I'm not with her anymore. She tripping. Then he gonna go to the other woman and talk about how she tripping to keep pitting y'all from one another. Meanwhile, he playing both of y'all. Nope. I went with her to Vegas. Went with her to Vegas, had a good time, and I hadn't paid a re-entry fee. I was like, nope, you gonna be in this house. You gonna make sure this furniture get in here. I had him pay for my furniture, had him put my furniture together, had him take me out to some places, and then I dumped his ass. Because men don't care about getting back with you. Men care about having an opportunity to keep embarrassing you. So guess what? You want the opportunity again to try to embarrass me, you got to pay for that. You got to pay for that because you don't want to be you don't want to be with me because you want to be with me. You want to be with me because you got asked out of being with the other person that you were most likely dealing with. And karma got him real good because that motorcycle that he was parked in his garage, that motorcycle that he was parking in her garage, he took that motorcycle, he parked it where he lived in Chicago, and guess what? Somebody ended up running into his motorcycle, and his motorcycle went bye-bye. He had that motorcycle for all of 2 months. Yeah, someone hit it. It's the same ex. Like, no. No, you're not about to sit here and then he was pissed off. Then he was super pissed off because I had him do all this stuff or whatever. And then my dad was like, he's not doing enough. This got him pissed. This got him super pissed. Because I had him paying a reentry fee. I had him doing everything. And then my dad was like, he's not doing enough. Like he needs to be doing more. And so he got pissed off because he couldn't get the approval of my dad. Because he was like trying really, really hard to like work his way back into my life or whatever. He was pissed that he didn't get my dad's approval. He's like, everyone else that I've been with, their parents love me and their parents always say how great I am and how nice I am. And I'm like, okay, like my dad did say that you were great and nice, but like my dad just feels like you're not doing enough. Like he feels as though I deserve more. Like he's just not happy. He just feels like at your age, like you should be doing even more than what you're doing. And my dad's not stupid. Like he knows that you're really only doing this much because you're trying to get back in my good graces. Like my dad's not stupid. Of course you're doing everything now. You want to have the opportunity to still deal with me. You want to have the opportunity to still be able to sleep with me because you can't rely on the other girl because I fucked your whole plan up. You didn't think I was going to go to Vegas with the woman that you were trying to hide from the fact that you were cheating on me with. You didn't think I was going to go to Vegas with her. Yeah, and like I said on that phone call, he still heard about that because he brought it up. Your dad would be so proud of me today. I know at the time, he didn't really like me, but if he knew me now, he would be so proud of me and he would see all the things that I've accomplished and all the things that I could do. Child, he's still hurt over that. Yeah, 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 yeah. It was my high rise. I want a handwritten apology, but just going to ask for cash. Gay guy, but I listened to Queen's video because she has male psychology down to a T. It's kind of crazy. It's because I was a stripper. I was a stripper. You have to know their psychology. It's no other way. You're not going to get no money from no man if you don't understand their psychology. You have to understand their psychology and then you have to reverse it. You have to go off script every time. When men are met with confusion, okay, I think of it like this. When women are met with confusion, this is why men like situationships. The reason why situationships are so powerful for men is because it puts the woman in a state of confusion. He's taking you out. He's telling you everything that you want to hear. He's being a good dude, but he won't give you the title of being in a relationship with you. That's confusing. That's confusing. So what the woman ends up doing is she ends up doing all of this stuff to try to narrow the gap, between what he is doing and then having the reality match, like actually having the title to match the reality. So then this is when the woman will start doing girlfriend things. She's going to start doing everything necessary because she's like, okay, if I do this, if I fill in everything to try to narrow this gap between him taking me seriously enough to want to put a title and him just doing all the things as if we're in a relationship, then I'll get the relationship. No. So you have to do that to them. You have to meet them with confusion. And for most men, meeting them with confusion is going off script, doing the complete opposite thing that they would expect you to do. He thought that me and that girl were never going to talk again. I was going to talk shit about her. And that in the time of him not dealing with me, he could deal with her. No, I ended up going to Vegas with her. I ended up hanging out with her. Now what are you going to do? Now you have no choice. Now you have no choice but to do everything to appease me. Now you have no choice but to figure out a way to get this dynamic to the way that you thought that you were going to get it. No. I'm not going to sit here and compete with another woman over a man. No. Yeah, the worst thing that you could do as a woman is be predictable. You cannot be predictable. No. No, I'm not going to, because, and that's the thing about it. He was even from the start, he was so confused as to why I would not give him an emotional response in regards to him thinking that I found out that he cheated. That's what was confusing him. That's the reason why he kept pressing me. What were you guys talking about? What were you guys talking about? What was she saying? What was she telling you? Because I would not give him any reaction to the information that I heard. So in his head, he's like, she's not mad, she's not angry, she's not giving me any reaction. That's why he was so thirsty. If I was over here like cussing him out and saying this and saying that, well then of course, yeah, the ball is in his court. The ball is in his court because I'm having a natural reaction to something that a person would normally have a reaction to. No. And he's over here reacting to something. That didn't happen. That's how they tell on themselves. You're reacting to something that didn't happen. You're over here trying to figure out what was said. What do you need to find out that was said? What has happened where you've done something where you would be fearful of me finding out that information? He was so confused. He was so freaking confused. He had no understanding of where my mind was and what was going on. Like, no. He got blocked on everything. He was sending edible arrangements to my workplace. When I tell you he was blocked on everything, he started PayPaling me money. In order for him to contact me, he would send messages because, on PayPal, you can attach a message to the money that you send. He was sending messages with PayPal payments attached to it. He even emailed me. He was so fucking confused because I left him with nothing. Confusion is a man's kryptonite. Confusion is a man's kryptonite. He was so desperate. No, it was a relationship, boo. It was a relationship, boo. A relationship that I ended. But I've never been in a situationship. Never been in a situationship. It's either all or nothing. It's either all or nothing. We're either going to be in a relationship, we're either going to be in a relationship, or it's only going to be friends with benefits. And I'm not talking to you or asking you for anything outside of that. I love me some edible arrangements. I love me some edible arrangements. Love me some edible arrangements. So I was like, all right, I'll accept this. I will. Child, this man, this must be triggering for this man. That's all. He won't admit the fact that he's listening to a story where a woman outsmarted a man. So he has to lie to himself and say that it was a situationship because he thinks that women are stupid and he thinks that women don't know how to play the game. And he thinks that women are just like, so easy to manipulate. I was a stripper. I was a stripper. It was my life's duty for 4 years to know how to play the game to get money from men. Situationship where? And even if I was in a situationship, as long as I'm getting money, I don't care what title it is. I don't care if it's a situationship. I don't care if it's a friends with benefits. I don't care if it's a boyfriend. As long as I'm getting his money, I don't care what title it is. Because James also thinks that women care about titles. I don't care. The only title I care about is USD, United States dollars. United States dollars. Even if I was in the relationship, I'm getting what I want. Who cares? Who cares? Who cares? Get what you want. Who cares if you're in the relationship or not? You're still getting what you want. Who cares? Men are thinking that emotions you can keep using emotions against women. I literally don't care. This is why he's like, oh, you're a loser. This is why he's got to resort to calling someone a loser, because he can't. You see how he can't keep up? He's like, oh, let me try using emotions against her. Oh, I can't use emotions against her. Try something else. Faster. What, you're gonna talk about my wig? Oh, you're wearing a wig. Oh, you're wearing makeup. Oh, you have a nose ring. Oh, you have tattoos. Oh, you were a stripper. Quickly. Yeah, all you can do is laugh. Because you're running out of rebuttals. You're running out of your script. You need a notepad. You need a notepad for me to script you out some new one-liners to come up with. You need some advice of some new rebuttals to come up with. He's still thinking that we're talking about emotions. Like, did he not just hear me say that over here we don't care about emotions? Yeah. He's still thinking that we're caring about emotions, but then saying that we have no brains. Can you not hear? Do you need an implant, sir? Like, quickly. Okay, you have no emotions and no brains. Okay, what's the next one? What's the next one? What's the next one? What's the next isn't it so sad how men actually keep using the same threat? That's why you're alone. Yeah, that's the point. And that's why you're here. That's why you're here and no one's checking for you. If someone were checking for you, you wouldn't be over here. You would be laid up with your girlfriend. You would be sleeping and getting sex from your girlfriend. So who's the one that's really alone? Because I'm making money. I'm making money over here. So you're over here funding me. You're over here giving me engagement. You're over here giving me something to react to. You're over here because you don't have anything else better to do. Earl is that passport bro character Shira Seven played in one of her skits. In Broke 2, a grown man is saying money is a plan B. There is a grown man saying that money is a plan B. There is a grown man saying that money is a plan B. And he's over here talking about being lonely. I would happily be lonely. I would rather be in a kitchen full of cockroaches than to deal with a man that is saying that money is a plan B. Money is a plan A. Because what are you, homeless? Like what? Money is a plan B? What are we talking about? I'll take cockroaches instead. They say, oh, you're going to die alone with cats. Honestly, for a man like that, I'll take cockroaches actually. I'll take cockroaches instead, please. Please. I'd rather have that. I don't even need the cats. A man talking about money being plan B. That's why you think money is a plan B, because you're over here. Of course you think money is a plan B, because you're over here. You should be figuring out a way to make money. Oh, you're hurt. You're going to die alone. You're going to die alone with cats. You're hurt. Y'all need to come up with new material. Y'all need to come up with new material. You're emotional. You're not logical. You're stupid. You're this, you're that. Come up with something new. Y'all got to come up with something new. They do. I kid you not. The male-led communities, this is why I say men run off a script. They literally run off of a script. They have everything scripted. Okay, woman says she doesn't want man. Say she's gonna die alone. Woman says that she wants to have a rich man. Call her mid. Woman says that she wants to get married. Tell her that she's too old. They literally have a script. So for whatever thing that a woman says, they have a response ready. They have a response ready, and they're like, oh, I don't know what to do. She didn't say the thing that I thought that she was gonna say. And then at the bottom, they'll have when in doubt, call her emotional. That's what their go-to thing is. When she doesn't fit the script, call her emotional. Like, y'all gotta go, like, please, y'all gotta come up with new tactics. Y'all gotta come up with new lines. We're bored. We need something more creative. Okay, we know we're gonna die alone. Okay, we know we're gonna die alone with cats. We know that we're emotional. We know that we're used up. We know that we're gold diggers. You know, tell us something that we don't know. Yeah, he ran away. He ran away because he ran out of rebuttals. He ran out of rebuttals to use and realized that I don't care about any of that shit. I don't care about any of the stuff I don't care about any of that stuff. Go find a weaker target. Go find someone that actually cares. Go find someone that actually cares about what it is that you're saying. Y'all heard about the woman whose husband stopped paying the health insurance, so she had to cancel major surgery, but they protect and provide, right? Give me 500 cats. Ooh, child. Ooh, child. And God forbid she had an insurance policy. God forbid she had an insurance policy, because that's a slow death waiting to happen. If she had an insurance policy that was going to get paid out, I would call that that would be premeditated unaliving. Yeah, you can't keep a man. What do you bring to the table? Body count, cat lady, all the, it's just the same thing over and over and over. I can't believe that there are women out here and that shit actually hurts their feelings. There are women out here who actually their feelings are actually hurt over the fact that a man is going to call them a cat lady. A man is saying that she's going to die alone. A man is going to say that no one's ever going to marry her. And once I'm dead, do I get to reflect back on life and be like, yes, I died with a group of people. I died with a group of people. I'm dead. I'm dead. Who cares? How not to care about body count? Lie. Lie or be a smartass. What's your body count? What's your body count? You want me to tell you the bodies that are you want me to tell you the bodies that I have buried, or do you want me to tell you about the bodies that I dismembered? Which ones? Be a smartass. Lie or be a smartass. Gets him every time. What's your body count? Okay, the ones that actually got me to finish, or do I count all of them? Because if we're only counting the ones that got me to finish, it's just one. It's just one. Just be a smartass. That's what I do. Be a smartass. Yeah, when the Dusties come in here, tag them and spam them. Tag them and spam them. When these Dusties come in, at them and tag them and spam them, and just ask for money. Ask for money. Link your PayPal, your Cash App. If we all ask him for money, he's going to be like, "What is this place?" and run. Yep, run him right on out of here. Ask him for their money. What's your body count? What's your bank account info, sir? You're asking for digits on my body. I want to know how many digits are in your bank account. I've never in my life had a man ask me for a body count, because to be quite frank, I think most men that are even approaching me, they know that it's fucking high. I don't think no man with common sense that knows how to size up women would ever even fix their lips to ask me what my body count is, because they could tell it's high. One time on a date, this guy, he ain't even asked me what my body count was. He just said out loud, Yeah, he said, I actually prefer a woman with a high body count. He just put the high body count on me. He just put the high body count on me. He was like, "Yeah, he said, I actually like women with a high body count." And it just came from left field. We weren't even talking about body count or anything. He just randomly said it. He already knew. He already knew, child. What's your viral load? Oh, I'm hollering. I'm hollering. That would be a good one. That would be a good one. What's your viral load? What's your my chart data say? Yeah, because I'm sorry. Ain't no If a man were to ever ask me what my body count was, I already know I'm not sleeping with him. As soon as a man asks you, what's your body count? Say, I don't know, but you're not adding to it. I don't know, but you're not going to add to it, because why would you ask me such a thing? Why would you ask somebody that? Yeah, lie. Make up a whole You know how fun it is to date men and be lying? Just be lying. Child, don't even give them your real name. Start lying about everything. Lie about your name, lie about your birthday. This is what men do. This is normal for men. Men have no problem lying about their age, lying about their name, lying about their profession. That's what we did in the strip club. You just lie. You're not giving them a real name. It's your stripper name. You're not giving them your real life story. You making up some story to make them interested in you. And they pay for that. Men literally pay for women to lie to them. Hi, ladies. I was talking about the online fraud that I went through last live. I got a shadow credit and filed a complaint at the police station. Oh, well, nice. I'm glad that you at least got a credit. Yes. Legion, fucking, who in the hell did I marry? Men don't care. They be lying and lying and lying. And they go to a strip club and pay money for a woman to lie to them. Get to lying. Start lying. It's fun. It's way more fun. Because guess what? When you're lying, you're not going to take anything personal. You're not going to take anything personal. You have your little fake vulnerability. Yeah, I'm vulnerable. I'm embarrassed because I got teased. I got teased for how my feet look. You make up some fake insecurity. So that way when he's like, yeah, and your feet and this, he gonna throw your insecurity back at you. You won't even care. It was a fake insecurity anyway. It was fake. You don't care about that stuff. It was fake. I know I'm not really the target demographic for this content, but it did help me understand where women were coming from. It also made me realize I wasn't boyfriend material. So thank you. Well, I'm glad that you like the content. It's always nice when men come over here and like they're just not problematic. It's just nice when they're not problematic and they're actually listening to what women have to say, because a lot is required to be in a relationship with a woman. Like, it really is a lot to be required in a relationship with us, because there's so much that's required to be a woman. So it's like, of course, men are going to say your standards are too high. And it's like, they're the same standards that I have to meet. They're the same standards that I have to meet. So Blue Ivy is my cousin and Beyonce is my aunt. I used to work with a guy. Listen, I used to work with a guy. He used to lie so much. And they were just these outlandish lies. Y'all, he met Michael Jackson. He used to date Janet Jackson. He used to smoke weed with Prince. I mean, the line was crazy. The line was crazy. He slept with Apollonia. He, according to him, he did everything up under the sun. I was like, you just out here lying just to be lying. You know damn well you wasn't. You know damn well you wasn't with no Janet Jackson. Just over here lying. So of course, I'm gonna tell y'all to lie. Make your life easier. That way you ain't gotta take things so personal. A lot of y'all women be like, I'm a lover girl. I don't know how to stop being a lover girl. Start lying. You won't be having to worry about being a lover girl no more if you start lying. Cause you ain't got nothing to be, you don't have anything to carry shame around because it was all lies. Your whole persona was made up. You weren't ever telling them the truth. So now you ain't got to worry about your feelings being hurt because you gave them a fake story. So when they throw it back at you, you're spoiled and you're this and you're that, and you over here giggling inside because you're like, huh, he think I'm spoiled. I grew up on welfare. He gonna throw hurl insults at you, and you gonna be listening to him, and you gonna be cackling. You gonna be cracking up inside. You gonna be like, he over here mad about some stuff that ain't even real. He over here hooting and hollering over a fake story. Y'all, one time I slept with a man and I legit don't think he ever used a condom. He had condoms. I don't think he ever used a condom before in his life because I saw him try to put the condom on and I was like, he was still trying to put the condom on when it was the wrong way. And I was just like, I'm like, are you trying to use weaponized incompetence for me to put the condom on? Like, and if so, this is a dumb thing to be using weaponized incompetence over. Like, he over here like he's over here like trying to, and it's the wrong way. And I'm like, flip it over. Flip it over, maybe. And the thing about it is that I could completely believe that he wasn't using condoms because he could not fit them. He literally could not fit them. He had like these regular size condoms, and I'm like, oh my God, that thing is suffocating in there. That thing is suffocating in there. And so then I bought some, and I bought like the XXL, and it was still kind of suffocating in the XXL. I was like, yeah, there's no way that you're using condoms. There's no way that you're inconveniencing yourself this much to protect yourself. There's no way. At least it was suffocating and not baggy. I was like, there is no way. There's no way that you're using condoms. I was like, it's not even, it's barely fitting in an XXL. He was cheap as hell. I'm like, if you don't get you some condoms that actually fucking fit, because why? Because the thing about it is that I'm like, I'm kind of scared. I'm kind of scared for us to do this with this tight ass condom on because this is how condoms break. This is how condoms break. I need it to be like a little, I need it to be like a little bit baggy. And then another thing too, I ended up just putting it on for him because he was completely, he was completely gonna fuck everything up. He's over here, he was trying to put it on the wrong way. Then I was like, okay, are you gonna flip it? Because that's why it's not working. Okay, he flips it. He's over here like trying to roll it down and it's all tight and squeezing it. And guess what that's doing? Now there's all this air at the very tip of the condom. I was like, whoa, 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 whoa. Wait, let's redo that again. Like you need to squeeze the tip of it and then you need to roll it down. I'm not trying like no, like this is how condoms break. No. Start it over. I'm like, yeah, there's no way. You got these cheap ass condoms that you can't fit. These cheap ass condoms that you can't fit. You put it on wrong the first way, and then you over here not grabbing the tip of the damn condom to make sure that there's no air in it. What's going on? He is slow. I don't know how he got a master's degree. He got a master's degree in something that I would consider to not really require a lot of intellect. But then again, I don't work in the field and I don't want to diss nobody's field of expertise. Oh yeah, and I'm never getting frustrated enough to not want to protect myself. Because this is how I know he wasn't trying to use condoms because we're over here kissing and he's over here trying to spread my legs and put it in. And I was like, whoa, where's the protection at? He's like, oh, yeah, let's go get that first. Let's go get that. The heat's never too hot. I don't trust. This is what kills me. Men will sit here and be like, I don't trust a woman that has condoms on her. I don't trust a man that's not trying to use condoms. I don't trust a man that's not trying to use condoms. Like, if it's our first time getting together in the first question and you don't, and we're about to do the do and you don't ask me, hey, are you allergic to latex? I don't trust you. If you don't ask me, hey, are you allergic to latex? That's what I'm looking to hear. Are you allergic to latex? And then they whip it out and then they put it on. But we'll sit here and say that they don't trust a woman that uses condoms. So you don't trust a woman that is putting not only herself, but putting you in a predicament that you can't catch anything. And then men will sit here and say that they're logical. Men will sit here and say that they're logical, but they literally are saying that they don't trust a woman who is making sure that she does not pass something off to someone or receive something from someone. What is like, that's crazy. And then we'll complain about child support, the woman getting pregnant, the cost of aborting. Like, no, sir. You're not going to gaslight me and shame me into sleeping with me raw. It's not happening. Now, I'm not perfect, obviously. I'm not perfect. I'm definitely not perfect. And when I was younger, I was playing with fire. Literally and figuratively. I got lucky. I was playing with fire. But once I got older, I was like, oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. Mm-mm. And especially now, oh God. Oh God. The between the rights, between women's rights being taken away, between these men being DL, Even if you're on birth control ain't enough because birth control ain't gonna save you from dealing with a man that's DL that may have something. Like birth control is not enough. You gotta have birth control and you need to have some condoms, another form of contraceptive that can protect you from STDs because no. Mm-mm. And yes, men definitely try to stealth. That's why a lot of the time I don't be trusting them. A lot of the time I don't be trusting them when they be trying to go behind somebody. Cause that's a lot of the time that's when they trying to stealth somebody when you can't see. Like, no, no, mm-mm. I'm sorry that that happened to you. Cause one thing about me, I'm grabbing back there, child. I'm grabbing back there. Like, no, we're gonna because this is another thing too. This is the reason why some men get frustrated with me when I do this, but this is also a lot of the time. This is a lot of the time. Some men will get frustrated with me. I be trying to change positions like kind of often because I need to see what's going on. Okay, I need to see what's going on. You're not about to be hanging out behind me the whole time because I don't know what's going on back there. I don't know what else you're doing back there. I need to be able to have enough surveillance to see what the fuck is going on because no, you're not about to be back there where I can't see you and you doing some nefarious activity. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. No, they don't care. They don't care about you at all. One time, it was actually one of my ex-boyfriends. We had like tested and everything, so everything was fine. So we were in the clear. I'm sorry, but someone like completing the act internally inside of you, that's something that should be consented, in my opinion. Okay, that's something that should be consented. At the time, I didn't have a period because I was in bodybuilding and my body fat was so low that I wasn't going to get pregnant. And I think like his testosterone was super low. His men weren't marching anyway. Because like one day I had asked him and I was like, hey, did you like complete everything that one time that we did something? Because I didn't see anything. And he was like, yeah, well, that's because like I finished. And I was like, I was pissed. I was pissed. I was so pissed off because I'm like, okay, granted, we're tested, we're cool. Granted, I can't get pregnant, but like, it's still something that's like going inside of me. Like that would just be like me coming up to a person with a needle and it's I have a syringe and I have something inside of it and I'm just poking you with the needle without your consent. I'm just jabbing you and putting something inside of you. Like to me that's what that is. To me that's what that is. And he kind of was like passing it off as if like he's like, "Well, I don't really have any testosterone, so like I don't, so we don't have to worry about pregnancy." But in my head, I'm just like, that's all that you're thinking about. Like, who's to say that I want that inside of me? Like, that shit that throws off your pH and stuff. Oh my God, peed inside of a woman. Oh my God, I would. That's crazy. Yeah, I don't want them throwing off my pH. I don't want their genetic material still looming around in me. I've always been anti finishing the act inside of someone. always. And I'm always going to continue to be. I don't like that. I absolutely hate it. I do not like it. I've never wanted that stuff in me ever. Ever, 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 ever. Ever, 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 ever. Cause no. Mm-mm. I don't want them throwing off my pH, and I don't want their energy. I don't want their energy all stuck inside of me. Like, no. Mm-mm. Yeah, and then recording in the back and shit too. Like, no, sir. You want to know what's crazy? I had one guy, listen to this. I had one guy that I was talking to. I, I don't know what he was thinking. He sends me this like home video that he made. Cause see, this is the thing. When you're someone that has like a lot of sexual energy and like you have like a strong amount of sex appeal, especially with like men that like or like they knew that I was like a stripper or like they knew that I had an OnlyFans, there's a level of comfortability that they assume when it comes to them showing their like sexual prowess. This man decides that he's going to send me a home video that he made sleeping with another woman. And I literally asked him, I was like, did I ask for like an audition tape? Like, did I? And in my head, and the first thing that I'm asking myself is, I'm like, no one's ever sent me a home video of them sleeping with somebody else. They'll send me home videos of them doing it to themselves, but he sent me a home video of him sleeping with somebody. He sent me a video of that. And the first thing that I'm thinking in my head is, I'm like, is this girl, did she even consent to this being recorded? And I highly doubt that this girl is saying that it's okay for him to send her videos of them sleeping with one another to other women. Like, it was crazy to me. It was crazy to me that he did that. I was like, that's crazy. Like, I highly doubt the girl in that video was like, yeah, we can make a video and you could just send it to whoever you want to send it to. Because what am I supposed to do with that? What am I supposed to do with that? They really do project the things that they like onto women. And what they don't realize is that the reason why they like those things is because they're doing it with women. That's the reason why they like it. It's because they're doing it with women. They don't real a lot of them, they don't understand it, because like men will sit here and be like, I want attention. I wish I got attention. I wish I got as much attention as women do. No, you want attention from women. You want attention from women. Women do get attention from women, but overall, women get more attention from men. You don't want attention from men. If that's the case, you would happily go to prison. If you wanted the same, you don't want the same type of attention. You want attention from women. You don't want attention from men. If you wanted attention from men, you would have no problem going to jail or no problem going to prison, because even they get creeped out by the attention that they get from other men. They don't think everything through. They don't think it. They're in their own little box of the world. They're in their own little box. Oh, I like women, and so I want women to like me. But I see that women get attention. You see that women get attention from men. You don't want attention from men. Because you understand that getting attention from women does not pose as much of harm. And then they will sit here and make it seem as if they don't understand why you don't want attention from men. You don't want attention from men either. Like, they never ever ever think anything through. They never look outside of the lens of the world that they're living in. Exactly. And like I said, for a lot of these men, they're creeped out by other men too. They're creeped out by other men too. They don't want attention from men. They want attention from women. I highly doubt a man going to jail would sit here and be like, yeah, I can't wait to go to jail. I get to get all this attention from me, and I'm going to be new, and I'm going to be fresh. And everybody's going to want to, you know, bend me over. Ain't no man thinking that. Men are terrified. Men are terrified. Family Feud asked women what they'd rather be doing than sex. Top answers were laundry, reading, cooking, shopping, literally anything else. They don't realize we're wired differently. Yeah, that's insane. That's insane. Yeah, they literally don't realize that like we don't get the level of enjoyment that they get. And the thing about it is that for men, it's not that this is what I always say. I have a theory. Men don't enjoy sleeping with women just purely because it feels good. That's not why they like sleeping with women. They like sleeping with women because of the societal position that it puts them in. It puts them in a position of being dominant. That's what they like. That's what they like. Because if we're honestly being truthful, men sleep with anything. Men sleep with anything. So it's not the actual act of sleeping with someone and like actually finishing. It's not that. It's the fact of dominance that they're in that makes them want to sleep with women. That's really what it is. That's really what they're enjoying about it. And so they're over here thinking that like it's this full encompassing experience for women. It's not. Women don't have their ego attached to being in the bedroom. Women aren't getting an ego boost by sleeping with men. For women, it really is purely a physical act. This is why men say things like, oh, well, it's different when women cheat because women are emotional. Women are emotional when they're cheating. Okay, that would be outside of sleeping with somebody. So they're admitting the fact, they're projecting the fact onto women that they are having an all encompassing experience when they're sleeping with women because they understand that typically there has to be some type of emotional connection in order for women to sleep with men. Then men get mad over time when you don't want to sleep with them as often. It's because there's an emotional disconnect. If there is no emotional connection, it's purely physical. And they consistently miss the mark for the physical act for what it is. So of course we don't want to do it. What are we getting out of this? We're not getting anything emotional to connect with to want to do it. And we're not getting the physical aspect of enjoying it while we're doing it. What's the point of wanting to do it then? Like, no, I'm not trying to roll around on the mattress with a man just cuz. Like, no. These men are out their mind. Yeah, no. Mm-mm. Nope. These men are chow. I don't know. But y'all, I'm gonna get off of here. I am gonna get off of here. Really good live stream. I'll be back tomorrow. I think let me think. I'll be on here tomorrow, and then depending on how I feel, maybe later in the day, I'll also go on the spiritual channel tomorrow. I got to think about what I want to talk about. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, all those lovely things. And I will talk to y'all next time.